So the purpose of this conference is to share good experience with Lithuanian and foreign teachers, lecturers about STEAM activities during lessons and summarize the teachers Erasmus K1 project Green Planet is in our hands. So do not waste time and let's get started. It's my pleasure to represent the first speaker, Christina Zorna from Greece. She uses drama everywhere. Christina, I give you a word.
Thank you very much, Egle. I'm very happy to be here with you today and share my experience with drama and education in STEM education. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, and I would like to know from Egle if my slides are changing as I speak. All right, so let's begin. Drama and education then. Drama and education is within the letter A of STEM education. A stands for art. And drama and education is a teaching and learning experiential method, which has a lot of implementations in teaching the curriculum, in pedagogy, didactics, also in career counseling, in professional development, and teacher training in Erasmus projects, as the one that we have cooperated with your school. I'm a mathematician. I'm an expert in drama practitioner. I'm a PhD researcher at the University of Macedonia in Thessaloniki, Greece. And let's see what happens with drama and education. It is also known as creative drama, as educational drama, process drama. All these mean the same. It started in the UK in the 1950s by Dorothy Heathcote, who was a pioneer practitioner and introduced drama in her teaching in her school. And what she said that the way we learn in school cannot be much different than the way we learn in society. And how do we learn in society? We learn experientially. So drama is a method that is flexible, can be adapted, can be applied for all ages, in all contexts, in all educational levels, indoors, outdoors, all places, and even online. What my presentation today is, I will try to explain and prove that drama and education is so flexible. And you will tell me on the chat if I manage to hit this goal. Now, regarding the themes and the subjects that we can investigate, the disciplines that can be combined in a drama workshop, the target groups that can participate, the context and the content, how to plan a drama workshop, the goals that the workshop aims at, the activities that we can choose, the techniques that we can implement, and the whole implementation process. And all these are flexible with drama and education. In a literature review from the 1970s until today, we found 412 documents, that is reviews or articles in journals or chapters in books in 214 sources. There is a 6% annual growth in the publication articles about drama. And as you see in this chart, after 2006, there is a mounting publication of drama articles. And for the first semester of 2022, 21 articles had already been published. So for the whole year, it was surely more than 30 that were published the previous year. These are the titles of the journals where these articles are published. And these are the clusters of the countries where the authors come from. And I'm very happy to say that Greece is in the same cluster as the United Kingdom, where everything started. And these are the names of the authors that mainly have published about drama, and they refer to the other authors' works. All these are very good for researchers, but we have to see what disciplines the drama can combine. And besides education, educational research, and theater, you can see in this slide that there are environmental studies, there is anthropology, social sciences, linguistics, of course, even gerontology. This is the third age cluster, communication, also psychology, public health, even nursing. All these are the disciplines in the articles that we mentioned before. And because one picture can say a lot, besides students, education, children, and drama, what is most important now in the latest years, in the latest publications, is skills. And skills is what drama and education is all about. And as you see here, in the last decade, skills comes in the third place in the words with increasing occurrences in all these publications. So what is drama and education? Drama and education is an experiential teaching and learning method that uses theatrical techniques. Drama comes from the ancient Greek word drama, which means action. Action taking place within context. We set the conditions, the space, the place, the time frame, and then the roles, and everything during a drama workshop happens here and now. The participants take on roles, meaning that they express the point of view of the role they impersonate. For example, in this picture, it depends on the side the person stands. If you stand on the one side, this design looks like a 6, and on the other side looks like a 9, and they're both right. So the participants, while the story in the drama workshop evolves, they take on roles, they face dilemmas and problems, they need to find alternatives, they need to study the consequences in a safe environment. They do not really bear the consequences of the alternatives, but they study them. So that they can make informed decisions. And then they plan the action, they take initiative, and of course they reflect, making connections with real lives. And these connections with real lives is where the learning lies, because learning is understanding ourselves and the world around us. It is based on social constructivism learning theories. It is a holistic approach based on inquiry learning, and it enhances critical thinking, creativity, and the uppermost aim of the method is to change our stance towards society, to differentiate our stance towards things and conditions. So it provokes deeper thinking, analysis of the conditions, and it makes meaning, addressing not only to mind, but also to body and heart. And usually, us teachers are looking for methods for our children to learn easier and better. The good thing about drama is that the teacher develops also. So when you facilitate, when you organize, when you plan, when you implement a drama workshop, then you as a person, as a teacher, as a facilitator develop also personally, socially, and professionally. My master's thesis was about the gain of the teachers as far as professional competence is concerned when they use drama in the classroom. This link, I will put it on the chat later, so you have the time to see it through and see what the teacher gained from drama and education. And from now on, I have implementations that have already been done in education about drama and education. First of all, teaching the curriculum. Since I'm a mathematician, my examples come from mathematics, but I have colleagues that have used the drama in history, in geography, in language, in biology, physics, etc. But you can have an idea of what I have done. For example, I used absolute values in equations and inequalities to explain social distances and positions in social hierarchy and the relationships between social members. And we also studied second-degree curves on a plane by embodying them. And by embodying them, the children could learn better the identities and the relationships and the positions between the curves. We also studied ancient Egyptian mathematics, like fractions in arithmetic, and area in geometry. This particular workshop was so interdisciplinary because we had to learn geography. Where is Egypt? Where is the Nile, the river? What happened when the Nile flooded and they had to count the fields again? Here in the middle, you can all read the problem, I suppose. It's in easy hieroglyphics. How can we divide 6 loaves of bread to 10 people? Well, we had also to learn some linguistics and history and religion. And what about life after death? All these were included in the workshop. So it was not only mathematics. And also for the complex numbers, we explained the social hierarchy again and the social inclusion and exclusion and diversity. And this picture is from an online implementation where I was disguised like the imaginary unit, which was the who is this guy in the society of real numbers. And also using traditional tales to teach mathematics. And we had also a small theater play. We studied the life and works of famous mathematicians like Carl Friedrich Gauss. I'm hearing something. No? Is everything okay? You can hear me all right? You can see the slides? Egla?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Everything is perfect.
Okay, thank you. Because I can't see the faces now anyway. And we also produced a theater play on the life and works of Carl Friedrich Gauss. And this workshop also was also interdisciplinary about the life of Ramanujan. And we had career choices, life choices, what can you do with a gifted child at school, and also mathematics and multicultural education and multicultural issues. Yes. Okay. And now about disability awareness, we cooperated with Multiple Sclerosis Society for 1 year in a project based on the work Die Befristeten by Elias Canetti. And through drama and education, we arrived at a theater play. The solitude of prime numbers helped us to study the social skill, to obtain social skills and study life and friendship for teenagers and career decisions also. With the drama workshop on Trees Die While Standing by Alessandro Casona, we studied family issues and relationships within problematic families. With the society and cultural heritage with drama, we studied the story of our school, the Maraslio of Thessaloniki, some parts of the Greek history, like refugees from Asia Minor to Greece, and also prepared national history celebrations and events through drama. In the primary education, there are also, well, a bit of mathematics also. The book 365 Penguins helped us learn the functions of natural numbers, but at the same time, we were trying to save the planet. So creating environmental awareness through drama and education and mathematics. The prime numbers and the identities helped us study the diversity and the inclusion in the classroom. Also, another workshop was about zero that has a secret, and zero was excluded from the natural numbers society. And so we enhanced social skills and relationships. In career guidance and counseling, which is a new thing, Ioana, my supervisor, and I presented in Mexico in 2017 our innovative idea of implementing drama in career guidance and counseling. And that led to my PhD research about career self-efficacy skills and career decision-making skills development for teenagers. And this method was rewarded twice in European competitions, once as an innovative method in career guidance and counseling, and the second one was promoting professional development for adult educators. And the same year, we presented drama as a method to develop personal and interpersonal skills for professionals in the communication disorders sector. And in the university also, we use drama in training of our students, pre and postgraduates, for example, battling social stereotypes, or in outdoor trainings like professional ethics and integrity and copyright issues in the university, and also developing career skills for our students. And in adult education also, inclusion issues at the workplace. A colleague has a chronic illness, and how does this has an implication for the relationships at the workplace, and also professional skills, leadership, also leadership skills, and of course in Erasmus Plus projects. And we're so happy to cooperate with your school in Lithuania with Spedia expert training, in teacher trainings in Halkiviki and Thessaloniki. Your school took part 2 times, and together with the training, we did also a little tourism, a little sea swimming, museums. We visited the city also. And the themes was teacher training, for example, team building or disability awareness, or diversity awareness, inclusion in the classroom, and all these subjects. Yes, okay. And the last one was in March, which will be again in July, how to teach mythology. So all these, I believe that all these can prove how flexible drama is and how many implementations in education in all levels there are. And as a last slide, this is what our participants said about drama. It's entertaining, we feel out of our comfort zone, it's refreshing, useful, interactive, helps the problem-solving skills, time management skills, creative thinking, flexible, and all these. Thank you very much. We're open to more collaborations. Let's hope that you have more Erasmus projects, and you and other schools also, and that we can collaborate also in the future. I will put the links on the chat so you can keep and have them. And I'll be very glad to hear the next presentations. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Christina. I can see that you have no questions in the chat. Maybe somebody would like to ask orally? No?
Maybe in the next presentations, you can also ask things, and I will keep a mind on the chat.
Okay, thank you, Christina. Now I would like to introduce you two ladies from Klaipėdos College, Dr. Irina Spirojevienė and lecturer Giedrė Tumasienė.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Agla. So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to share and to learn from you and together with you. So now let's proceed to our presentation. Well, it won't be so colorful with a lot of pictures. I don't know, sadly or not sadly, it will contain a lot of data as it's presentation from the research, but hopefully it will be useful for all of you. Okay, now I will try to share my screen because we are working with a Teams platform. So if any issues arises, please help us. So can you see my screen? Is everything
Yes, we can see.
Yes, I'm sharing, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so let's proceed to the presentation, which is called STEAM Education Method Experiences in Primary Education. So just a second. Okay, so the modern international education system is no longer conceivable without STEAM education, and most probably all of you know what do these 5 capital letters mean here. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Scientific research shows that STEAM education increases students' interest in science and helps them to connect their career choices to technologies and innovations. Experts imply that STEAM education requires changes, especially at an early age. and that science and technology education should cover a wider range of disciplines. So Lithuanian and foreign educators carried out a qualitative research on the use of STEAM method in primary education. So the aim of the research was to reveal the competences of educators who apply STEAM education. The qualitative research was conducted by using focus group interview. The participants were primary school teachers from Klaipėda, from Kretinga, and also from Klaipėda University and from Cairo University. So it was like an international research. And all the educators are working with STEAM education methodology. Now, this slide shows the demographic and social data of the participants. So you can see the highlighted gender, the age, the location of the institutions, now the qualification of the educators and the positioning of the jobs. The research survey asked questions about the experience, competencies, and how STEAM is applied in 5 different areas and subjects. So after the obtained data from the interviews, we had a chance to distinguish categories and subcategories. So in this short presentation, I will try to cover the 9 categories. I'm not going to read everything, just you could see how much work it required. So the first category was called STEAM activities in education institutions, and it's subdivided into subcategories, which you see on the left side, and there are 6 of them. So project development, student engagement, practical research activities, working in the lab, frequency of STEAM activities, and sharing of best practices. And on the right side of the table, you can see all the supporting statements. So the statements were mentioned by the educators, and they were taken from the interview. Now, the second slide presents the same information as in the first one, just without the supporting statements, and it's more like a visual aid. Maybe for some of you, it will help better to understand what we are talking here about. Now, the second and the third categories are about competences, which are highlighted in STEAM education. So general competences break down into 3 subcategories, as you can see, and subject-specific competences as well breaks down into 3 subcategories. So the same visual effect maybe to help to understand, and the general competence breaks down into cognitive, creativity, assessment of learning, achievement, communication, and subject-specific competence also breaks down into information technology, nature science, and mathematics. Now, the fourth category also refers to competences, which were named as the most needed ones. And from 3 subcategories, creativity and cognition competences are recurrent, which means that they repeat from the general competences. And it reveals that these competences are very important in STEAM education. New technologies and information management and communication and cooperation were other subcategorized competences in the 4th category. If proceeding to the 5th one, it's the use of science in STEAM. And here we see only 2 mostly mentioned subcategories, and it's activities of specific test object and general trends, working method and publicity. It's same visual aid. Now, the use of technology is the 6th category, and it reveals 3 subcategories. As you can see, simple mechanisms are mentioned, technology lessons were mentioned, then information technology, and also the robotics. Then the use of engineering in STEAM presented only two subcategories. It's design and construction, as you can see, and use of arts and culture in STEAM is the 8th category. And this category breaks down into 4 subcategories: painting and drawing, playing music, improvisation, and other artistic abilities which are necessary for implementation of arts and culture in STEAM education. The same picture. Yeah. And the last category, the use of mathematics in STEAM, breaks down into 3 subcategories. As you can see, data and data collection and data processing, calculation, and application of mathematical knowledge. And finally, we may proceed to the conclusions. So the analysis of scientific literature led to the first following conclusion, that one of the most important factors in ensuring the successful integration of STEAM education into primary education is the competences of the teachers. So my mentioned general, professional, and subject-specific competences are relevant for the application of STEAM method. Second conclusion states that STEAM approach has highlighted the importance of subject integration as well, not only the competences. So the integration of STEAM education activities creatively combines 5 or more disciplines. The third conclusion talks about content analysis and that it reveals the following categories, which were mentioned previously. So the first category, as you can see, is STEAM activities in educational institutions. Then it presents 3 categories concerning the competences, and the rest 5 STEAM field categories, which were mentioned previously. And the last conclusion is the discussion of the research participants focused on the following main subcategories, which were also mentioned, that emerged from the categories. And these subcategories highlighted the competencies of educators using STEAM education method. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Giedrė. And now the guests from Endrejavos Basic School, Aida Košaitienė and Indrė Raudonė.
Hello, we would like to know, is everything working? 1 minute. Can you see?
Yes, everything is okay.
We are from Endrejavos Basic School in Klaipėdos district. I'm music teacher Aida.
And I am primary school teacher Indrė. One minute. One minute, something is wrong.
We are going to present an integrated music and science lesson in the 1st grade.
Our goal of the lesson was to recognize and identify birds' voices in music. The activities took all day because we couldn't stop ourselves of having fun. All the day kids and we, the teachers, enjoyed various activities.
Our day started with one of the most popular songs for the kids, An Owl Chased the Nest. Kids with scarves were repeating and creating motions. While playing the pipe, they tried to imitate the voices of the birds. While clapping the names of the birds, they searched for matching rhythm cards and tried to name the corresponding notes. After that, the kids repeated names of their birds, their natural sounds and voices imitations. Later, we showed how to draw a simple bird. The most important rule was that legs and wings must be detached. While kids were drawing, they were listening Antonio Vivaldi, Spring from Four Seasons.
After scanning the QR code, they opened the internet site and step by step brought the drawing of the bird to life.
Next. Next. No, tu palauk, palauk, išvažiuoju. Nu, dabar rinkis. Taip, kaip šoka.
Here are the results.
Next part of our integrated day was to explore feathers under the microscope. At the same time, we checked how to plant seeds look like.
Nematyčiau jokio tokios plunksnos, niekaip nematau. O kai jūs pažiūrėsit pro mikroskopą, jūs pamatysit tokią plunksną. Tik tai labai, pritraukta. Tai dabar prašau labai atsitraukti.
After observing the feathers under the microscope, children shared their impressions and discussed what they have seen.
The most exciting activity was outside. We went to a local park for bird sounds hunt. Students used IT devices with the BirdNet app installed. Unfortunately, this app works only with internet. They recorded sounds of birds and tried to recognize and compare to those they already know.
A brief instruction before leaving to the park. The bird voices hunt begins.
Another app we used was Cubert. Students colored the butterfly and also brought it to life.
While coloring the children were listening Tchaikovsky's Waltz of the Flowers from ballet Nutcracker.
Kokonas čia. Tuoj pat prieisiu.
The result of flying butterfly and its circle of life.
At the end, on learningapps.org, pupils try to sum up what they have learned during the day.
Nu, išjung ir nuves dabar audio F, nuves kur yra pempė. Kur pempė? Ne, nu jūs dirbat kartu, pažiūrėsim paskui kas. Kur pempė yra?
Čia, Juliau. Čia.
Gerai.
Ne, aš šitą paspaudžiu.
Nu, kas dabar? Nu, jau jungtų kitą.
Thank you for your attention. Thank you and we hopes that everything was clear and you liked.
Thank you very much for such an interesting science and music lesson. And now, Klaipėdos Sendvario Gymnasium primary teachers Birutė Urbonaitė and Lina Rakšanienė will represent you Erasmus Plus courses from Portugal and Greece. Their report is promoting STEAM education through teachers training.
Good afternoon. Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have decided to be a good teacher, you know that in order to be such, you have to read a lot, to be interested in and listen a lot of seminars, courses, and etc. But in every valuable seminar or course, you should hear that it's better to see something once than to hear about it 1,000 times. And we would like to modify it a little and say that it's better to try something once than to hear about it 1,000 times. That's why we decided to travel around the Europe by ERASMUS KA1 project. Green Planet is in our hands, and try new teaching methods for our students. Now we would like to share our good experience after courses. Okay, not working. Okay, my colleagues Lina Rakšanienė and Eglė Kanauskaitė-Grigienė attended courses development of soft skills via outdoor activities that Christina Zorna mentioned. They tested and improved various methods for teaching children outdoors, teaching methods for improving the classroom atmosphere. Several methods for children with special needs were also presented, which is highly valued when we are looking forward to years 2024 in Lithuania. In the photos, you will see that each method was first tested by the teachers in order to be able to evaluate and know how to adapt it in the educational process. One of the methods is samurai game. The game is played in a circle. Children cannot speak. One of the players starts by choosing another child and saying "sa" and pointing at him with his hands, like he's like he having a sword. The chosen child put his hands in the air and say "se." Participants next the chosen one turn to him and say "so" and make movement with hands to him. This game improves concentration, develops attention, improves reaction time and teamwork, cultivates collective responsibility. Challenges is that it's hard to concentrate for children if there are large classes, and it's difficult to stay silent because children want to say something or comment others. Playing math is other method. Participants choose numbers and say it loud. Then teachers give instruction in what order numbers have to stand. Children cannot speak. They can do just one movement at a time. This game strengthens non-verbal communication skills, enhances teamwork, develops critical thinking skills, cultivates patience. Challenges is that it's difficult to stay silent, it's difficult to wait your turn, and children forget their numbers if there are large groups. Next one is feel it, touch it, and guess it. This game is icebreaker game to get to know each other. Participants introduce themselves first, say name and sound. One of players is blindfolded and then he has to try to guess who he is touching. The game improves attention to detail, strengthens nonverbal communication skills, and challenges is that it's difficult to stay silent again, and not every children wants to be touched or touch others. Of course, it is necessary to determine the rules of touching others because we need to stay alive. And triangle fish story is the method which helps to include child with special educational needs in the classroom. Teacher reads the story about the little triangle fish. Then students notice their soft skills and hard skills. Teacher discuss with students by questions you can see in this slide, and they are making main characters just an art lesson. Reflection is made by the teacher, by the way teacher chose, and the teacher Lenara tried with her children this method, and it was really interesting, and she used it until now. So you can see the motion of children. Well, together with my colleague Gaiva Bružienė, I had the opportunity to travel to Porto, Portugal, where the course promoting STEAM education through teacher training took place. In these courses, we improved knowledge about STEAM and innovations about it, enhanced ability to find and use different teaching and learning resources, enhanced ability to design STEAM curriculum and implementation, improved ability to motivate and engage students in STEAM learning, improved communications and social skills, and enhanced ability to work in the process of STEAM implementations. STEAM education, when I heard STEAM education, I always had associations with fun research and activities in which students actively participate, but it's not just that. If I give you the tools if I give you the tools and the task, for example, to move the ball from one place to another without touching, you will design something, try it, change it, and etc. But it wouldn't be STEAM, although you are actively participating and cooperating. STEAM education is more than engaging activities. It is clear goals of the teacher, close cooperation between teachers and school staff, and clear completion of the activity, presentation, drawing conclusions, or other way. So I would like to share a STEAM project that we tried and which we decided to develop next year. The planning started on September. After courses, we made some changes by project design formula. So we chose Friends Day project. We chose Friends Day project. The goal is to remove students from their comfort zones, to give them as many challenges as possible, which would force them to reveal themselves in other class environment in a different culture of communication. We divided the students of third grades into 3 groups in each class, and those groups were spread over all 3 classes. The same tasks were performed in all classes. Students had to cooperate, teach each other, get to know each other, act, feel free to do something with their new friends, share gifts, and finally return to their classes to reflect and present their experiences. The students prepared to answer in teacher questions about feelings and experiences they had in the other class. And even next week, we heard some comments or reflections from that day. I hope that this project will grow up to Friends Night in the school, but about that we will talk, I hope, next time. So we wish you to remember that leaving the comfort zone forces you to improve and not lose the desire to be good teachers who are looking for methods and ways to teach children. So spread the light around you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Birute and Lenara. Now our partners in Exchanges for All project from Liepājas Lietaga School, Andrei. Nice to see you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, yes.
Yes, let me just take a second and share my screen. Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes, Andres, everything is okay.
Great. So There are basically 4 ways of incorporating STEAM at our school, and these are engineering. We have an engineering class in grade 8, where students are building different kinds of bridges. Not all bridges are like this, like you see now in the video. Some of them are made from paper or from matches or even cards. Some of them are more advanced. They have electricity on with bulbs, with lanes. Then we also have robotics class, which is extracurricular. This is the class that I'm teaching. It's with Lego robots. Then in the high school, we have programming classes. It's on the curriculum. And then we also have Hackspace, which is extracurricular. And I'll talk more about these 4 ways that we're doing our STEAM education. So the first one is engineering. It's grade 8. There is only 1 lesson per week, and the students are basically building bridges through the whole year. So they develop their skills, their engineering skills. They actually visit the bridges that we have here in the home city. They also research the bridges that are throughout the world and build their own. Then in the high school, we have programming, where the students are learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. For example, here's the code on the left, and the students were actually given a real scenario task. They had to write a school plan with clicking on the rooms and figuring out different information about school. So about robotics, it's extracurricular. I teach it to grades from 3 to 7, and there are 3 lessons per week. Sorry, this is our school's bell signaling the start of the lesson. So Lego robotics, it's about building and modifying the robot required for the task. So that incorporates a lot of engineering. Then there is also understanding the math and physics of the working principle, whether it's distance traveled, and we use the formula for the lengths of the circle, whether it's ultrasonic sound and how it works. So that would be like from the STEAM, that would be math and science. Then there is also writing a block code, which is also engineering and mathematics. And then there is also the fun component. So it's STEAM and fun. Okay, so I want to highlight the importance of English and math in robotics and in programming. The interface of the software that we use is in English because as students grow their skills, they figure out a lot of coding words. Like, for example, you can see in bold here, like var, char, if. They actually stand for English words like variable, character, and the other ones are full English words. So it's important for me that the students learn that interface in English. And actually, when I select students or when I get to pick the students, as a teacher, I look at 2 subjects that the kids have to know. That's English and mathematics. Some of the advanced students are going further. They have Arduino platform hardware, and they code in languages in C and C++. So there is 3D printing involved. You can see in the picture that we have a 3D printer. I have a student who is doing the schematics and building a robot. So it's both 3D printing and doing one's own robots. And some of the robots can be easily found on famous platforms. Here are some of the pictures of the robots that we're building. And the next direction that we take is the school hackspace. What is a hackspace? It's basically the library of the 21st century. So it's not about reading books. It's actually having the tools and building your own stuff. And it's actually engaging for the students because they get to work with their hands. They build computers, disassemble, repair, solder, glue, fix, make all kinds of stuff. And so, for example, I have a short video where the students, first they're taught how to assemble a computer, but then they actually have to assemble it by themselves. And they also film it, and they have to work in teams, and then they have to edit the videos and present a working computer at the end. Also important aspect is salvaging parts. So what does it mean? So instead of just throwing out old or broken computers or printers, whatever, power banks, power supply units, do not just throw them away, because they're a treasure trove for a lot of magnets, for motors, for discs, fans, belts, pulleys. Like you can see in the picture that we have made some stuff from motors, from solar panels with bulbs. And these are very teaching resources for the students. I also have students, for example, in this video, disassemble a printer. There are, again, the pulleys, the gears, the motors, and I actually record the videos where the student, for example, demos how the printing happens. Yeah, so we take video of it. The fun component. Now, competitions would be very engaging for the students, because coding, for the most part, is not that fun. It's sometimes painstakingly boring. It's very hard. You have to spend a lot of hours on it. And so having competitions like here, you can see sumo wrestling between robots, or playing football between robots, or just lifting things or driving things, is the game and fun when students actually get to enjoy the lesson. Okay, and prizes. You also have to give prizes for these competitions. So whether it's a 3D printed Minecraft figure or Roblox figure, whatever, I actually present some of the hardware for the students, like neodymium magnets, or for example, processors from old computers. And these are kind of motivate students to participate as well. Okay, and afterward, despite having internet, should be a lot of information, but there is no official teaching program, educational program by the Ministry of Education. So a lot of the stuff I had to come up with, develop, and I figured out that I could write my own website that would help other teachers and hobbyists. It's available in Russian and English languages, and we're a minority school, Russian and English. At the time we wrote the website, the language was not an issue. Well, now it kind of is. Some of more advanced students are incorporating bridges, for example, with electronics. And you can see the video right here, what one of the best students did. And I have to say that only a handful of students can reach that level. It takes years of interdisciplinary work, all covered by math teachers, science teachers, physics, engineering, and so on. Yeah, so it takes a lot of time to even get ready, even like 2 students out of the whole class. This is the website that I use for robotics. There's also an English version of it. Some of the videos are available via the internet. Some of the lessons are on the internet, and some of them I have actually filmed and put out for the free use. And that would be it for my presentation. If you have any questions, you're welcome.
Thank you, Andres. It was really interesting to listen to you. Now we will hear the presentation from primary teachers Alma Kasparavičienė, Irina Rimkevičienė, and Aušra Januškienė. This summer they were taking part in the courses in Cyprus. Alma?
Hello, everyone. I will share my slides. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. We attended the course in Cyprus, Environmental Education and Outdoor Education in Non-Formal Settings. The course was based in Nicosia, the capital of Cyprus. In order to conduct the practical modules, we had a visit to a traditional village, to the Troodos mountain range, and to Cape Greco, which is located by the sea. Something wrong. I can't change my slides. What's wrong?
Maybe you could try to share again.
Okay, I will try. Okay, I can try to. Okay. Something went wrong. Okay. Something went wrong. I don't know. Okay, I'll try one more. Okay. Okay, I come back. Next, my slide here. Okay, good. Okay, in this course, we discussed about outdoor education and what is open school. Why choose environmental education in outdoor settings? Environmental education allows teachers to integrate science, math, language, arts, history, and many more into one rich lesson activity and still satisfy the academic aims in all subject areas. What are the benefits of outdoor teaching? Children can make connections between the classroom and the real world. Outdoor learning provides stimulation for creative thinking and learning. It develops critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills. Children can see relevance to what is being taught in the classroom, developing life skills. And what is open school? In open school, no obstacles between school and its environment. Creative collaboration, developing dialogue model, education affects environment, students get to collaborate with local community. In this photo, we are in the biggest Nicosia park. Here, we started our course. The first day was for introductions. Everyone liked the game where every player says the names of the players who introduced themselves before. The last player had to say every player's name. We also played this game with our students. They had to remember what their friends like. In the mountains, we were presented some activities too. We were looking for nature colors. We created bracelets from leaves, branches, tree bark. Here you can see finger puppets workshop in nature. Storytelling about things from nearby nature. Treasure hunt. We played an orienteering game. We had to find cards and did different tasks. In Nicosia, we often organize for students an interesting education in the biofarm. We had the chance to see how cheese is made. We got to know herbs. We made soap, balm. In the greenhouse, they grow different plants to show to students. By the beach, we had some interesting projects like making posters, finding seashells, and creating mandalas. All of this new experience I gained, now I share with my students. This year I teach first grade students, So we decided to do a STEAM project called Nature Around Us. My students presented this project in a conference, so briefly I will show their work. My students find out about the school's meadows plants, which are blooming in autumn. They got to know why plants even grow in autumn. Every student chose one plant and find out more information about it. Students created a presentation with a coded program Scratch, and they learned how to code. Here you can see a presentation of plants which we got acquainted with. Students showed how flowers look and made short speeches about plants. In February, students planted and grew herbs. Some moments from our project. Next, you can see another project called Autumn Colors. 2 second grade classes collected items with nature colors and created mandalas out of them. Outdoor learning can be a more relaxing environment for some learners. Encourage risk-taking, health benefits, more fresh air, and children are more active. Reduce stress, the life stress impact is lower among children with high levels of nearby nature than among those with little nearby nature. This course is for anyone interested in studying the science behind natural and man-made places of interest, national parks, museums, eco-farms, city historic centers, botanic gardens. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you, Alma. We have a question in the chat, and I think I can answer. After conference, you all will get a link with the conference record, so you could see everything. And now Pablo Calvo from Spain couldn't join us today, so he sent us a video with the title "Microbit Loves Plants." That sounds mysteriously. Let's watch it.
Hello, I'm Pablo from Spain. I'm a biology teacher and I've been working with STEM projects for 2-3 years now. And well, I'm very interested in combining, projects that combine biology with technology. And by this project, we are combining biology and technology because we are going to take care of plants. We're going to water them when we want to, when they need it. The plants need it. And with technology, because we are using some coding, and different sensors that make the project possible. Well, this job has been done with teenagers from 15 and 16 years old. And this project, we are using technology like sensors that you can see in these pictures, sensors that are needed to control, to detect the soil moisture of a plant, where the plant grows. Also, we want to know if the plant has enough water, so we need a rain sensor. Of course, we need the water pump because we are watering the plant, and some other modules like a relay, because water pumps needs more energy. In this case, we are going to control the project by using microbit. Microbit is a programmable card that, well, we can just control very easily by using this page. On this page, called Make Code Editor, is an online way to make the coding to control this project. This card, as you can see, well, this is well, somehow slightly difficult coding. I mean, the kids have been working with this code blocking for some months previously to doing this, because it's we're using some of the advanced features of this card. We're going to, this card is able to control by using some buttons, like they are integrated on the card. As you can see here in the code, by pressing button A or button B, we're going to do some different things that we are controlling here. Okay, here on the coding, we have some variables that will tell us if the plant need to be watered or if the plant has enough water as well. Okay, so on this slide you can see how we connected all the different sensors. Here you can see the soil moisture, the water sensor. This is a water level sensor, because we have a deposit and we are not going to be always looking for the just checking if there is enough water for the plant. So maybe there is a lack of water and we need to know if the deposit has enough. Okay, then we have the water pump connected to the relay, and there is some batteries connected to the whole system in order to let it work for longer. Okay, so microbit is not difficult to program. The kids work for several months before doing this, but with not many experience, they are able to make enough complicated code in order to get the control for all these sensors. Okay, so by doing this, let's say in a week or two or less, 3 to 4 sessions, kids get everything connected. So as you can see here, we have the pot where the plant will grow, we have a water deposit with the water level sensor inside. There's also the pump is inside, connected with the pot. And there's here outside of the pot, at the bottom, there is a plate, where if there is too much water, you can sense it as well. Okay, and everything, well, it's here we have the battery, and of course microbit that is controlling the whole system. Kids make the code, download it to the microbit, so everything can work. As you know, I told you before, more or less in 3 to 4 sessions they can do it. Okay. So by doing this, the kids are learning how to code. This is code blocking, not difficult, and they also acquire the knowledge how to control how to take care of the growing of a plant. Okay, so are some of the pictures that we made with these kids. Okay, so this is I guess very easy project, a typical STEM project, where you can combine biology and technology in just one project. Okay, so I hope you like it. If you are interested in the coding or how the circuit, anything, you can write to me and I'll get you. Okay, bye bye.
Thank you, Pablo. Now let's come back from sunny Spain to sunny Klaipėda and listen to Klaipėdos Sendvario Gymnasium history teacher, expert Daiva Tamkuvienė. She thinks that everyone can be successful in STEAM.
Hello, and one moment, please. I'm soon share my slides. Sorry. Good afternoon again. I am history teacher, non-STEM subject teacher, and I will share my experiments of using the STEAM method during the lesson. While briefly, I remind you what elements have to be included in a STEAM activities and lessons. The first is integration of STEM subjects. The second important part is the 21st century skills. Another part is using the theory into a practice, topic actualization and contextualization. It is connecting the topic with the students' living environment, and it is great, if possible, to establish contacts with research centers, manufacturing companies, and other. So how can we introduce STEAM in our lessons and feel success? The first method is interdisciplinary integration. We find like-minded people and start to work together. And I show several lesson examples how we cooperate with our colleagues. The first lesson is on the way. History subject, the inhibitions of minor Lithuania, the businesses, the old names of the winds, information about Koreanas ships, math, calculate the area, find the point of symmetry and the axis, technology, it is builds own Koreanas ship from secondary raw materials, solve the problem of balance. The second lesson is the lesson magic of straw. Math, pupil must recognize different geometric shapes.
found symmetry, history, half timbered house, fachwerks, architecture, ethnoculture, the tradition of straw gardens, technologies. We make a reketuka, small part of straw garden, and after all, we put together a bigger one from the small ones like a puzzle. Second lesson is Blossom of Hope, history, the first deportation to Siberia, reasons, conditions, examination of source, math, use of measuring instruments and measurement in yards. It is difficult part of this lesson because pupil can't use measurement, measurement tools in non-formal, in non-formal areas. Second lesson is the lesson about Christmas tree, history, Christmas traditional around the world and Lithuania, biology, how to distinguish pines and spruces, math, calculating arithmetical means, proportions. The second lesson, history of writing paper in production, history, development of writing and its tools, math, ratio, technologies, paper production. So it is easy if you found like-minded people, but if you are non-STEM subject teacher and you want to use STEM in your lessons, it is several ways to do that. The first way is scientific research method. Student collect information, propose a hypothesis, makes experiments, research, comes to conclusions why it's success or failure. The first lesson is history of ancient Rome, making catapult. Integrated math, science, technology, engineering, and history, of course. The student collects information about the principles of catapults operation, making their models, thinking of hypothesis, which has a stronger effect on the efficiency of the catapult, flexibility, stability of the base of the catapult, or the weight of the mint. Making catapult experiment, draw conclusions, and makes presentation about the research for class. Second lesson, flight across the Atlantic Ocean, paper airplane. Integrated history, math, science, and technology lesson. Students rise of hypothesis from which paper made airplane fly stretches and the farthest, make paper planes, experiments, draws conclusions, and presents in class. The second method is workshops or tinkering and making. Students make models, creative works using the knowledges gained during the STEAM lessons. The first lesson is medieval castle, integrated history, engineering lesson. Of course, there are also great integration possibilities. For example, math or science can be included. But in this activity, I put more emphasis on cooperation. All job must be made or not within 30 minutes. A team of 4 people works together. The winner is team which delivered the highest number of defensive devices in his paper castle. So the last method is gamification, is including games to the lesson. The most commonly involved is computer game Minecraft. At home, students in groups build historical buildings, Egyptian pyramids, Greek temples, medieval cities, and etc. We also have restored Klaipėda Castle.
And I want to show little example of this. So the student can to build all the world in this game, with castle, with medieval houses, and etc. This is for several examples. Other buildings. So STEAM lessons is mission possible for all teachers, and STEAM is success for all. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Daiva. It was really interesting to listen. Now, for me, it's an honor to represent the next speaker from Vilnius Baltupių Progimnazijum, special needs teacher, expert, Irena Radžiūnienė. In her opinion, everyone can go shopping, even kids with a special needs. Irena, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Egle, for inviting me to this wonderful presentation. So, as Egle said, I am from wonderful city, from Vilnius, and I love this city best of all because I was born, I live, and I hope would live many years in future. I have been working with students with special needs for more than 20 years. And today I would like to share my experience with you. I think it is very important for children with special needs to learn to live in society. And at work, I pay a lot of attention to the development of social skills. So I titled my presentation From Shop to Table. So currently, there is a lot of talk in Lithuania about inclusive education, about education without discrimination, and the policy of inclusive education is carried out at the level state in Lithuania. The idea of inclusive education is a school for everyone according to opportunities, abilities, and needs. To understand how a person with special needs feels, you need to be in their person. And I think the photo perfectly illustrates the idea of inclusive education. Integrated teaching works very well for students with special educational needs. Why it is suitable? consistency of learning is formed, a coherent view of a world is created, and one educational subject complements another, knowledge deepens and expands. And integrated education is enriched with STEAM activities. I'll give you an example of one topic, fruits. What activities we carry out? We are learning the names of fruits. We find out how does it look, where does it grow, what vitamins and nutrients it contains, what is the benefit of it to the human body, and so on. It depends on the creativity of a teacher. Students look for information on the internet, in handbooks, in encyclopedias, and so on. In this way, they learn to use as many different sources of information as possible. Also, students make presentations. We also learn English in all activities. For example, when we're learning fruits, we learn their names in English. And also we learn to describe what the fruit looks like. Color, size, we also try to taste the fruit to know the taste. It is sweet or acid and so on. During technology lessons, we learn how to cook and prepare dishes. While learning about fruits, we can make fruit salad. First of all, in order to make something, you need to buy products. Learning to go to the store and buy the necessary goods for children with special needs is not an easy task. Why is learning to shop is so important? Learning to buy helps to understand the monetary value of things, diversifies math lessons, motivates learning to count, basics of economics and planning are acquired, self-reliance is developed, and also social practical skills are formed. The way to the store, the beginning. Students are introduced to pictures of money and learn to count them. Later, students begin to learn how to count real money. Students also get to know store chains and the discount cards they offer. And of course, students must be introduced to bank cards as well. The way to the store, second step. Shopping cart is created. Estimated codes are approached, and we share who and what products will be found in the store. In photo, we can see the list of products. For fruit salad, the quantity of products and the estimate price. So, walk to the store. Going to the store can be called like a physical education class. In the store, each student finds the products they have chosen. When choosing products, we always pay attention to the price of the products and to the expiration date. One of the students is in charge and checks whether we really put all the acquired products in the bag, and the responsible student goes to the cashier, and the responsible student pay for the products. After returning from the store, we calculate how much we actually paid for our goods, and we compare the received amount with the money planned to be spent, and then soon as we meet it, we taste it right away. While tasting, we talk about how it went studying the topic, what we liked the most, what we didn't like, what we would do in future differently or better. And in this photo, you can see some of the most beautiful and delicious achievements in cooking. And try something delicious too. And thank you for attention. I'm going back. And that's all.
Thank you, Irena, for such a sensitive presentation. Now you're going to see a video from Catarina Neto. She's from Portugal, so let's see and listen.
Hi, my name is Catarina Neto, and thank you so much for having me in your conference, Education Enriched with STEAM Activities. I'm a professional trainer and consultant.
I have some sound issues. Can you all hear Katarina?
Sorry, is everything okay?
I cannot hear Katarina. Can you hear her?
Sorry, I will try again.
Conference, Education Enriched with STEAM Activities.
Okay.
I'm a professional trainer and consultant based in Portugal, but working throughout Europe with educators, teachers, and schools to support them in the evolution of the teaching and learning practices with a focus on meaningful and community-based education. I'm also the director of Cocoro Association, a non-for-profit association located in Portugal that shares the same purpose of my independent career. But let's talk about STEAM, right? So just be sure that we are talking about the same concept around the STEAM approach. I want to share with you that for me and in my work with schools and teachers, I assume that the STEAM approach is an integrative approach to curriculum in which the STEAM areas are worked as one without boundaries. So this is the idea of interdisciplinarity, and we are considering also this connection among the 5 subjects, the STEAM subjects at least. Of course that you could be working more subjects, but at least we are sure that you are working these science, technology, engineering, arts and maths. And also when working with the STEAM approach, we are working about this possibility of transferring the knowledge from school to the real life, okay? And you will understand more in the next example. So when we are working with teachers and schools and capacitating them to redesign their activities using the STEAM approach, we use a process design. And there are a lot of processes design that you can choose. I'm presenting that, in my opinion, the one that is the simple one. So in this process design, we have 4 steps. And in the first step, we involve students with a problem that the teacher can bring to the class. The teacher has the curriculum goals, have the objectives for that lesson, but instead of presenting, this is what we will be learning today or exploring today, the teacher can present it as a problem, as a question, to trigger students to be involved and engaged in the learning. But also sometimes the students bring to the class some questions, some doubts, and the teacher can be listening and say, okay, this is a great problem that we can work on. Maybe not in that lesson, but in the next one. For example, if you are talking, if you want to work something in history, language, geography, you can, for example, present a news about the war, for example, and from here, try to work with the students around this current and real problem. In the second step, after the problem is presented, then you can provide some tools to the students and allow them to research about this problem. So find information to answer the doubts and all the questions they have around the problem. But of course that if you provide with them forms and guides to orient their search for information, you are also guiding students for the learning path that you want. So you define what kind of information they have to look for. And in this way, you are also developing the curricular goals and contents that you need to. After they finding this information, you can go for the third step. So they have to create something. Because when you create, when you visualize, then your memory works best, right? So you are creating with them a solution that can be a campaign, an exposition, or a prototype of something. But you are agreeing with them. Of course that you can already say what they will be creating, but also you can ask them what they would suggest to create in order to solve the solution, raise awareness, create impact around this first problem. And in the last step, you have this final moment of evaluation, reflection, but also presentation. So they can develop communication skills, and at the same time, you are assessing their knowledge about the topics that you were exploring during this STEAM activity. So this is a STEAM activity. This is an example, and the teacher can look at the curricular goals that has to achieve with students and transform each class into a problem that students need to solve. This will create more engagement, but also at the same time, they will be working in a STEAM activity, finding different moments with different subjects involved in the class. This is an example it's a really simple example, but it also allows you to understand that STEAM activities can be developed in preschool or high school, so throughout all the education levels. This is a world-known book, Three Little Pigs. And this is a great idea to start a STEAM activity, because if you start with a book, with a movie, with a newspaper, with a documentary, anything that is related with the topics that you want to explore with the students. This artful resource, so we have hearts here, this artful resource already have the problem in it. So for example, in this book, you are reading the story and then you reach to a point in which the children understand that all the houses that the pigs were building were being destroyed by the wolf. So here is the problem, how to build a house that is strong enough for all the 3 pigs to live there. In the second step, inquiry, you guide the children to search for the kind of materials, the buildings that can create strong buildings and strong houses. Of course, that if the children is too small, they are not yet able to write, so they can register by audio using technology or drawing. But of course, that if they are big enough, they can already write and register all their findings. Then in the third step, they are designing and testing. And here you can start, for example, asking them individually or in groups to design, sketch the house, and then to use the resources that are available in the classroom. So Play-Doh, recycling material, cardboards, whatever you need, Lego pieces to create this house. And then you can actually test their creation. And some of them could be the bad wolf and trying to destroy, but you can also invent a new problem. And you can present a new problem, for example, an earthquake. And here they can try to move the table so to test if their house is strong enough. And in the last part, you can reflect with them which house was the strongest and why, what kind of materials. So you have here the moment of evaluation, reflection, and also to retain the knowledge that they have been exploring throughout the 3 steps. And here, the important thing, of course, is to be sure that you are at least working with the STEAM subjects. But when you present a book, a documentary, you are already introducing arts, because these are artful resources, okay? Then when you are inquiring, you are calling for concepts, and this is about science. If they are searching online or using a device to record their voices, you are using technology. And when designing and testing, they have to follow a process to build something. Even if it is a campaign, they have to build an event, right? So this is an engineering process. To count the resources they need to have a budget for their campaigns. For example, this is math. You have mathematics here. And in the conclusion, you can also have arts, you can also have technology. So the STEAM activities are present, okay? So you just have to create a problem and allow them also to try out and to create something. And this is our approach to STEAM. So I don't bring you a magic recipe. That is not such a thing for school, because you know that in different schools, in different classrooms, all the students are different. And maybe you can test these kind of activities with a classroom and it works, so great. But if it doesn't work, you have to keep trying, because that's the role of the teacher, and that's all about your professional development as well. So thank you so much. I hope this information and experience is useful for you. And in case of any doubts, please contact me through my email. I'm more than happy to answer all your doubts and help you thrive. Thank you so much.
We are almost at the end of the conference. Last but not least, Klaipėdos Sendvario Progimnazijum headmaster Lina Logvinovienė with IT teacher expert and deputy teacher Asta Pakėnienė. They're going to share the experience from courses in sunny Saloniki, Greece about school management.
Hello, everyone. Today we would like to share our impressions about the training school management and leadership new strategies, which we completed in October last year in Thessaloniki, Greece, together with my colleagues Lina, Egle, and other teachers from Belgium and Cyprus. I will present the theory part, and practical and cultural part will be presented by Lina. During the school management trainings, we introduced this effective school model, which identifies the specific parts of the process of facilitating school environment that may help the students to reach their full potential. Some examples of such elements include strong leadership, safe and supportive environment, family communication, and involvement. We will also introduce these 4 types of effective leadership styles in education and how they work. Instructional leadership emphasizes the structured guidance and decision making, such as analyzing student data and identifying areas for improvement. Transformational leadership emphasizes the importance of inspiration and motivation, working towards a common vision. Constructive leadership promotes collaboration, creation of supportive environment. And servant leadership sees leader as a servant to their staff and students who focuses on supporting and empowering their team. Teachers and teacher leaders in the 21st century require a range of generic or horizontal skills that go beyond subject-specific knowledge and skills. By developing these skills, teachers and teacher leaders can enhance their effectiveness in the classroom, improve student outcomes, and contribute to a culture of continuous learning and improvement. Michael Fulham identified 6 secrets that are fundamental to any organizational success. First, love your employees. Second, connect peers with purpose. Next, capacity building prevails. 4, learning is a work. 5, transparency rules. 6, systems learn. And now, we will move to practical and cultural part, which will be presented by Lina.
Thank you, Asta. Hello, dear colleagues and guests. During the week-long course, we had the opportunity to learn about school management, good leadership quality, and creating a good team atmosphere. Our lectures were conducted by a professor from the University of Macedonia, who presented a multitude of ideas and methods on how to better manage an organization and create a good microclimate within the school community. During the training, we performed numerous group tasks, analyzed different situations, and discussed various mentoring strategies. Also, we learned about the drama method and tried to apply it in groups. One of Macedonian professors emphasized that active listening, the ability to feel and understand people, is one of the most important qualities of a leader, which allows the creation of new strategies in the institution. Moreover, we had the opportunity to visit a private kindergarten and a primary school located outside the city, where children are educated outdoors, exploring nature, plants, and learning aware subjects in nature. In the kindergarten, children grow vegetables and take care of a small farm where chickens and goats are raised. This education style is promoting kids to learn through their own self-experience. Parents are closely involved in kindergartens, activities, and children's education. Here is this beautiful house, and the playful gazebo are built from mold by parents. We visited in the primary school, based a little bit further from urbanization and surrounded by nature. This is very modern private school. Their even architecture of building was deeply about to come more in that with nature. Children spend most of their time outdoors. They have opportunity to quickly transfer outside from every classroom and be in fresh air, learning not only physical education, but all different subjects. They also have various long-term project activities outside.
Αγωνιστική θέση. Πόδι έξω, πόδι πάνω, πόδι κλειτή, πόδι κλείνω, πόδι έξω, πόδι πάνω, πόδι κλείνω, πόδι κλείνω.
We also visited a state progimnasium in the city of Thessaloniki, which was also very unique in its layout. Lessons are held in separate buildings arranged in a circle with a courtyard in the center. During breaks, children have the opportunity to spend time outside, where they can run, play, and enjoy beautiful surroundings. We got to see classrooms, all environment where children are learning, and teacher room for preparing lessons. It was not only an interesting experience, but also a great opportunity to learn about the education system in Greece, experiential learning principle, and how to apply them in the activities of kindergarten and schools. Cultural tours of the city were also organized during our course, and we visited the archaeological museum, where we learned about the history of Thessaloniki. We had the opportunity to taste a variety of local dishes, such as moussaka, souvlaki, and others, which gave us even more impressions and experience to get acquainted with the local culture and traditions. During the course, we had great experience that we shared with our colleagues from Belgium and Cyprus. I think this course was very useful for us and our school community because our school is located next to big park, and we will apply methods we saw in Thessaloniki. By having the opportunity to experience and learn from ideas of our colleagues from Greece, we can better understand different cultures and practice and apply them in the context of our school. For the opportunity to participate, we would like to say a lot of thanks to Erasmus and Paideia expert training. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Lina and Asta, and thank you all for participation, listening, and sharing experience. It was a pleasure to see and to hear you today. Good luck and enjoy the STEAM. Bye.
Ačiū visiems. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
So happy to be here. Thank you.